Welcome to the O Show, your number one podcast for everything training, mindset, and nutrition. I am your host, Oren McCarry, and it is my goal to help you access the best information around to allow you to kick ass in the gym, in the kitchen, and most importantly, in your head. Between my own experiences and those of my amazing guests, I'm confident we will do that. So let's strap in and level up your life starting right now.
You okay, all right?
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Welcome to today's episode of the O Show. I am your host, Oren McCarry, and I'm here today with the main man from the UK, Mr. Mark Coles, a man who has been a mentor to me in many different facets over the years, between his gym at M10, educating PTs and coaches on how to be a better trainer, and also Mark's work as a business mentor. Mark was actually my first business coach, so I'm very excited to have him on the podcast today. Mark, how are you, buddy?
Extremely well, thank you, Adrian, and thank you very much for having me on from all over there to all over here.
I know, man. Hopefully the connection lasts. Normally in the evening now, when people around us are all getting home from work, the Wi-Fi can be a bit funny. But if it stretches all the way to London where you are, then we're doing well.
It'll work. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Awesome, man. So obviously you've had a big impact on me through the years. I can remember going down to M10 for the multiple camps. There was the camp with Milos. There was the different mentorships, like a 1 or 2 day seminar sort of series. And then you were my first business mentor. So I've talked you up a good bit here, but I think let's talk about it in your own words, like your journey in the fitness industry and where you started and how you've sort of grown to where you are today, obviously having such a big impact worldwide.
Wow. Well, thank you. I think first and foremost, I just want to say that I'm no different to any other PT or online coach out there. I always say to anybody that I work with, let's drop the hierarchy thing straight off the bat. You know, I'm a guy that came out of school and tried to go to university and didn't succeed at university for one simple reason, and something I learned a little bit later on in my life. But you know, we don't fail at anything. We get feedback. Right, and the feedback to me when I came out of school was, I don't think you enjoyed that.
Right. Okay.
And this is stuff I've learned later on in life. I don't think I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the sport. I enjoyed the kind of hands-on craft and design, and I always found it interesting why I was why I loved French and design and art, and I didn't enjoy anything else, and sport. And I came out of school and I thought, well, shit, I'm not particularly that intelligent. I didn't think I was very intelligent. So the natural only route really is to try and follow in my dad's footsteps and go in property. And after 2 attempts at university and spending more time in the gym on the second time round, I kind of realized that there's something in me that just doesn't want to work for dad. And by being in the gym every single day, there was just something in me that said, holy shit, you freaking love this. Like when I'm in the gym, I felt empowered, I felt confident, I felt energized, I felt fulfilled. And these are all words that I learned later on in life, but I just felt brilliant. And it wasn't till I kind of remember got chatting to a girl in the gym in Sheffield in university, and she was a PT. And I was like, tell me about that. And I saw her teaching classes and having a good time and being a PT. And I was just like, I think I need to do that. So I went to the head of uni course and I just said, look, I'm leaving. And then I rang my dad and said, look, I've applied to the bank for a loan, $3.5 grand, $3 grand to do a PT course. Because I just felt in my soul that if I was in a gym all the time, I'd be happy. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything else. If I was in a gym, I knew I'd be happy. And then it wasn't until I started doing the PT course that I was like, holy crap, like I'm retaining all this information. I'm remembering it. Like shit, I couldn't do at school.
Yeah.
And I was passing my exams and I was reading books at home, and I've never read a book at school. And I was like, what's all this about? And it's not until later on in life that you start to realize that no one has a memory that is, you know, a genetic deficiency to learn. We just have a deficiency to learn shit that we're not interested in. And so in life, everybody will always say to me, I'm not very intelligent. And I said, but where are you intelligent? Where can you remember stuff? And I was remembering everything for personal training courses, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding, Chris Aceto's nutrition book. I was remembering it all and I was applying it. And then I just thought, well, if I could lose body fat and I'm enjoying being in the gym, being able to do this for a career is just insane. I'm in the gym every day, but I can help other people feel the same way I feel. And that led me into fitness. And if I'm honest, it's just a relentless pursuit to study. And I still, to this day, everything around me, behind me, like I can't stop taking in knowledge and information. And what ended up happening was I started with weight loss, studied, realized that fat loss was a thing over just weight loss. Then realized that building muscle and losing body fat was a thing. But every time I took a stepping stone towards something different, it was because my physique started to look different. So I initially did weight loss, lost a load of muscle. Then I was like, well, can you lose fat and build a bit, retain a bit of muscle? And then can you build muscle? And yes, you can. So my transition into training these different modalities was based on my interest that I was finding myself. I always say to coaches, if you don't do it, you can't teach it.
Yeah.
And as you know very well yourself. And then as I start to get to building muscle and losing body fat, I was like, oh my God, I can actually get big. So then I started to train more physique people and body transformations, then bodybuilding as I transitioned into bodybuilding. And my whole career has just been this evolution of exploration on myself. Like every time I've tried to do more on myself, I've got better results on me. I've got better results with other people, which is what I've always taught. And then it got to a point like 10 years in when it was like, hey, you know, these results you get with people, can you help me get the same with my clients? I was like, no one's ever asked me that.
Okay.
Okay. I remember asking Charles Poliquin, what do you do? Like somebody wants to come and see me for an afternoon. He goes, charge them.
Sweet.
And I was like, okay. So I charged somebody like, I don't know, 400 or 500 quid for half a day. And I said, and then I was realizing that I could get 500 quid for half a day to mentor a trainer. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, no problem. And then I marketed, I basically said, oh, it was great to see this guy when Facebook came out like 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And I just put it on my page and I got 3 trainers say, oh, can you do the same for me? And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
So I started to realize that people wanted to learn from me. And I was putting my posts out and I was sharing my content when social media started. And then what slowly started to happen was more and more trainers wanted to learn from me. And I was like, oh my God, I can now use the stuff I'm learning to help other people. And then 8 years ago, I was over in Florida and somebody said, why don't you do a seminar instead of training people one-to-one? Why don't you just do many? So then I filled M10 with like 85 people and did my first ever seminar. Wow. So what basically has happened throughout my whole career is just an intense passion to learn. And as I've climbed and ultimately charged more for my time, it became, people started to notice that maybe they could learn from me. And my belief in myself time over time allowed me to just step into the role of education. And I never thought that this guy that couldn't learn can now teach, but I just want every trainer to out there to know that, fuck, if I can do it, like that just means that I just have a belief. And I said to one of my coaches yesterday, if you have certainty about your ability, there is nothing more powerful.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I'm talking about next week is not about how to double your income and how to make loads more money. I truly believe that when you improve as a human being and you have a desire not only to increase your wealth, but change people's lives, you'll be very wealthy. But if you don't believe that you're able to do that, then no matter how much people tell you to charge, you won't charge it.
Yeah.
I remember helping you push your prices up a bit.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
And actually, I remember on one of your podcasts, somebody said before that they were charging £90 a session or something. And you asked them, well, how do you charge 90? And they said, oh, by turning down 60. And that was the first time I'd heard that. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. And it's not being, you know, if you value yourself, I was reading a book while I was away on holiday, and it was like, this entrepreneur was charging, 50 grand for the day. Wow. And he said one of the most inspiring things about charging a larger amount of money is not needing it.
Yeah.
Because celebrities are so successful. If you want to hire a celebrity to go and pick their brains and they put a ridiculous price on it, it's because they don't need it.
Yeah.
So if you get yourself in a position where not only do you value yourself and you're certain about your ability, but you're not desperate for the sale every time, then you don't mind charging appropriately for your time. So I've been able to do this year on year on year. And one of the things about stepping into business coaching was the fact that I truly do believe that the fitness industry undervalue and undercharge. And so if I can have part of the business that's able to teach trainers how to be a great coach and fill them with confidence, certainty, skills, and knowledge, then when that person then starts to approach the business side of stuff, it's one thing giving a coach a script of how to sell. But if that coach doesn't believe that they deserve that amount of money, and that actually stems from your knowledge and confidence in your ability, this is why you're doing what you do, and this is what you charge. Why what you charge is because you believe in that. But I don't believe that can take 6 months. I don't believe that trainers should be charging astronomical amounts of money for their coaching, because I believe that there's a stepping stone to get there, because then you value it more.
Yeah.
You know, you look at people that win the lottery, they spend it all because they don't value it. Look at people that look at people that get inheritance, they don't value it, so they spend it all. Because if you get gifted something very quickly without working for it, you don't value it. So I'm a big believer in that the fitness industry is a journey. It certainly doesn't need to, you know, going from £35 an hour for a PT to £50 an hour doesn't need to take 10 years. And going from £100 a month to £500 a month online doesn't have to take 10, 15 years. But I certainly am very passionate about helping personal trainers take and online coaches take their purpose and passion and turning it into a successful business. And I'm a massive advocate and encouraging the knowledge and skill that's needed to get there, because whilst I have been growing and developing myself, I haven't done as much of I'd say I've done more in the early days of the education around being a better coach. But there's a lot of very knowledgeable coaches that aren't getting paid very well for it.
Yeah, 100%.
And what frustrates me in the industry is seeing that. I see a lot of unskilled coaches charging a lot of money, and a lot of skilled coaches not making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the industry to kind of pick faults on all different people. I just want to make sure that the people that are growing, learning, and giving great service get rewarded fairly for it.
Yeah, 100%. And
you know, that's a big thing.
In terms of like, so whenever I done my PT course 2010, like, you know, 25 pounds an hour, that was like the sort of starting rate where you're at, and that was obviously you entering the bottom of the totem pole. So where would you say the average PT is charging now, based on your experience working with PTs, versus when they get educated, what they can potentially charge, like when they finish your mentorship with your coaches, learning about the whole education side of things, and they actually can get a better result? What's the sort of ceiling on that, or what's the potential that they can earn?
Well, let me put it like this. I honestly, Ryan, I honestly mean this. If you do want to earn more money in the fitness industry, I think that the baseline now for a fitness professional within 5 to 6 to 7 years is around about 10K a month. I never would have said that to you before.
Okay, yeah.
Now, the reason I say this to you is, as a PT in a town which historically charges £35 an hour for PT, I was charging 85.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Now, that was after 6.5 years, 7 years. So I put my prices up. Sometimes I did a £10 price increase. The way I did my price increases was, and this is very true, if people say that there's no chance to put your prices up, it's because you're not a valuable commodity in your town or city, right? Michelin star restaurants are sold out and they charge premium for a table. Taste the menu, $250, right? Whatever, 200. They're a blue ocean. Like they're literally unique restaurants doing what they do.
Yeah.
Right? Go and try and find another Michelin star restaurant the same as that Michelin star restaurant in that same town. No. Want that same experience, you pay for the privilege.
Yeah.
So if you want the experience of working with Mark Coles in Nottingham, you pay for the privilege. If you want to pay £35 an hour, then you will not be working with Mark Coles, and you won't get the level of service, knowledge, skill, and experience that he's got. And that's why, for me, I have absolutely set on, when somebody says the ceiling in a town is £50 an hour for average people, yes. But when I took the ceiling to me at £85 an hour, here's how I made my money. A large percentage of the people paying me £85 an hour in the town that I lived in were not from the town.
Right. Okay.
People were traveling to see me.
Okay. Yeah.
They'd come up from London, down from Scotland, across from Ireland, up from Bournemouth. right? So in every week, I'd probably have 7 or 8 people paying me and traveling to see me.
Yeah.
And so my point is, if you're in central London, naturally 100, 125 pound an hour. If you're in a normal, kind of normal, popularized area like town, then realistically, you're going to have trainers charging 30, 35 pounds an hour. Now, if you create yourself as a brand inside that city, there is absolutely no reason why you can't get to 50, 60, 70 an hour.
Yeah.
Now, if you think about 30 pounds an hour multiplied by 30 sessions is 900 pounds. If you think about, you could charge, let's say, 70 pounds an hour, and you could do 70 pounds an hour multiplied by 20 sessions, which is 1,400 pounds a week.
Yeah.
Right. So then you're thinking that's nearly 5.5, 6K.
Yeah.
For PT. And then all you need to do is then use the knowledge, skill, expertise, and experience and scale your influence and train, 10 clients at £300 a month online. That's $3,000.
Yeah.
Using the knowledge, using the results that you've got. Now, why would a PT further down the line not want to use their skills and knowledge ultimately to reach a world and help more people, which is what we entered the fitness industry for, and get paid for it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a face-to-face coach over a PT coach. Oh, I get that. So I'm a PT coach rather than an online coach. Okay. But if you could still make impact and change people's lives with the right service and systems, would you not want to increase that and increase the quality of your life? I've only just spoken to somebody today. I don't think that most people, Odran, have a vision for their life. I know categorically, I say, okay, what's the average money you spend on a summer holiday? 1,500 quid.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
what? Yeah, like twice a year.
Yeah.
Once a year. Why is that? Well, we've got the kids' school fees, there's kids' school clothes to pay for. We've got food bills to pay for. I'm like, okay, what if that was not even an issue? What if you could go on a $3 or $4 grand holiday? How much different and easier may that be for you? What if you can go on a $5 or $6 grand holiday? What if you could upgrade the house and not feel like you're living on top of each other? This is life planning, right? Something I've always done. Upgrading, giving yourself bigger opportunities. So I say to a PT, you can life plan for the next 5 years. And if you are earning £30 an hour, in the next 5 years, you could be charging £55 an hour. If you became a better coach, more knowledgeable, more skilled, got better results and built your reputation, which is what happened to me. At £35 an hour, I went, well, first and foremost, I was absolutely adamant with this word better. I just wanted to be better than everybody else in the gym. Yeah. It was because I wanted to be better at rugby and I wanted to be better with my training. And when I saw the trainers doing well in the gym and getting their sessions up, I was like, okay, I'll do more than you. I just had this, I want to do more than you thing.
Yeah.
And all the profiles on the board at the gym were purple. And if you went from 35 to 40 pounds an hour, your color changed to yellow or whatever it was. And so when I put my prices up from 30 to 35, it went to yellow.
Yeah.
And then when it went to 35 to something else, it went to a different color.
Yeah,
but then your badge said something different on it. Yeah. And I was like, yes. So there was this big thing for me, which was not directly competing against a person, but if you gave me the opportunity to have anything in the gym which showed I was better than anyone, I'd take it. So then when I got to one goal reached, I went, oh, this is fucking boring. Like, that's why I say to trainers, doing 30 sessions a week at £35 an hour for 5 years is fucking boring. Because if you're not charging any more, your clients won't be getting any better results, I guarantee, because if they'll be the same clients.
Yeah.
So personal training, I've said to so many people, without goals and challenges and putting your prices up and challenging yourself, personal training is a boring job.
Yeah.
Online coaching is really dull.
Yeah.
If your clients aren't getting results and you're not getting paid well for it.
Yeah. 100%.
Going to do any job that is the same is boring. I spoke to a trainer last night driving back from Nottingham. He's unfulfilled. Why are you unfulfilled? I don't know. Let's break it down. How many results have you achieved in the last 3 years? How much money are you making? How many clients have you got? Some of them keep leaving. Good. There's no progress.
Yeah.
So I became obsessed with progress. I became obsessed with results. I became obsessed with results for clients and results for me. I became obsessed with my knowledge, applying my knowledge. And then I remember Charles Poliquin said to me, if you're learning and applying and getting results, you deserve more.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget him telling him, never. I did a consult with him after a seminar, and he just said, you deserve more. If you're learning and growing, you deserve more. And I was like, fuck, how much can I push the boundary of this price thing? And I went, 65. So what I would do is, and I make no apologies for this, is old clients go, new clients come in. So if I made myself that valuable, I would have a waiting list. I remember you have a waiting list, don't you? Yeah. But I remember talking to you, like there's people that want to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, dude, that's very rare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To be a trainer where people are waiting, that's insane. But I had a waiting list for a long time. So if you, Mark, when can I get in? Like, I'm 65. Fuck it, I'm going straight up to 80.
Nice.
Right. I'll take you on, but it's 80 an hour, no problem. How many times a week do you want? Three, no problem.
Epic.
And then guess what happens when I'm 80? At that point, I then get pissed off with the people that are paying 60 because now my value is 80. My value's gone to 80. Now I value myself at 80, and then I'm like, okay, good. So how quickly can I get the 60s up to 80, or let go of the 60s and bring on new 80s? And that's my mindset, because what I was obsessed with was training great people who wanted great results, who I could apply my knowledge with. What's more frustrating is training clients for 5 years. Don't get me wrong. The first 1, 2, 3 years of your career, charging £30 an hour, £35 an hour in an area where that's the baseline for coaching. You don't start off as a lawyer on $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
You might start off on 50 grand a year working, coming out of university and just working in the office. And you work your way up.
Yeah.
I think we need to work our way up. I think it's an important part of progress in life. Like I said to you, if you come out of school, a law degree, and go straight into 250 grand a year, you probably will jump through a huge amount of hoops that would have been really valuable to your career. So you value 40, you value 70, you value 90, you value 100K a year because it's performance based. And then anyone in life who is living their life based on a level of performance measures values every price increase. So whilst my price increases were not, 8 years, whether it's business mentoring, whether it's whatever we do, for me on a one-to-one personal branding level is, if you're showing evidence of progress and people are getting great results and great service, you become a more valuable commodity to somebody. And the ultimate thing in the industry that we're in is, what is the outcome? I say in London, we've got Bond Street, right?
Yeah.
Bond Street is one of the wealthiest streets in the country. Real estate as well. And a woman will go in and pay for a Gucci handbag, 2.5K. And she wants the feeling of walking down Bond Street with the big Gucci bag.
Yeah.
But as they're going to the shop, they're thinking, yes, I'm going to walk in, I'm going to get the bag, I'm going to walk down the street. But they'll pass over 2.5 grand for the feeling of having a Gucci handbag.
Yeah.
And that's no different to what we do. But everybody as a PT selling the sessions, they're selling the monthly coaching. No one's really looking at what the outcome was. So when people reached out to me, I got myself to a point where they were like, Mark, I want what they've done. And I know you do this with your transformations, right? I want what they've got.
Yeah.
And the more you get known for that thing that people want, the more there's a higher price on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't go and get a Gucci handbag and say, okay, that thing that other people want, okay, I want to make it myself. I want to pay for a ready-made version of it. Okay, cool. And that's why my understanding of online versus PT, it's outcome based. Both of them are outcome based. And if as a trainer over the years, you're not working towards being known for something, then ultimately when people get on a call with you, they'll never ask for that thing. They'll ask for whatever it is that they think that you do. And that's where, for me, knowledge and confidence go hand in hand. But once you've got those two wrapped up, you have 100% certainty that you deserve the value you're charging. And that was the thing for me. Like, never was a time then after like 4 or 5 years of coaching where somebody would look at me, have a consult, and I didn't look at them with my eyes lit up and said, no problem. Absolutely no problem. Even today, throw me a body transformation, physique prep, whatever, or weight loss client, I got it. And I know I'd be able to command a high price to coach for me now, still, for coaching. but I
Yeah.
transition that value into more business coaching. And that's where I think from a coach, what you said was, what's the kind of price point that you think is a bit of a ceiling? I don't think anybody would be able to rival. I mean, now Dan, who's director of personal training in Nottingham with M10 and business partner with me, Dan's charging more per hour than I was charging in Nottingham.
Yeah, well.
Coaches are coming to see Dan in Nottingham and paying £100 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's more. I said to him, fuck, that's more than I was. But we've worked at this.
Yeah.
If you travel at different parts in the country, Dan's now director of personal training at M10, co-director of the personal training mentorship, had a full diary and a waiting list for years on end. And it's valuable time for him to get somebody in.
Mm-hmm.
And because we're teaching and educating and mentoring, the value on his time. So there are people traveling to Nottingham, a town which is not known for 4 times the standard rate of PT, charging a high price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's where I think that what is the ceiling? I think to start off by saying is most people have not even stretched the kind of the walls, let alone the ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they've not climbed the wall enough high enough. And I think that there naturally will be, if you're not very well known, you're trying to push the prices up, you're not going to sell, because if you get a cold lead coming in that says, oh, I want to work with one of the PTs, or I'll put you in touch with Odran, you won't be able to charge what you charge premium. But if somebody comes in and says, is Odran here? I've been following him and a couple of girls that he works with. I want to get in amazing shape for a show. He'll say, yeah, no problem. They're coming in ready to pay the Gucci money.
Yeah, got you.
And that's where I think that coaches don't do enough to build the reputation wherever they're based from, whether it's online or as a PT, because all of our goals should be, hi, I'm here to see Mark Coles. I'm here to see Odran McCory. That's who I'm here to see. When I go into central London to see dentists recently, I'm going in to see my dentist because of a referral, and the referral told me that he's incredible. And when I sit down and he presents me the bill, guess what happens when I walk out of the dentist? I pay the bill when I leave. Do you know the dentist, by the way? Most people that go into a dentist, especially in Harley Street, they pay the bill on the way out. They don't ask the price on the way in.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what happens a lot in London.
Mm-hmm.
You want the service. You want to go to the best places in London. You pay on the way out.
Yeah.
Then if people keep coming up to you, hi, how much are you? I don't think you've positioned yourself. Branding is all about positioning yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing that the fitness industry could learn a lot from, because I think that coaches spend thousands being a great coach, but not a lot on business. And I know you've invested a lot of time in learning business and marketing. And I genuinely do think that it is a missing link, because we go and do 6 months diploma in PT. We spend 5 or 6 years studying every biomechanics, nutrition training course going. And you don't spend more than, half an hour listening to the odd inspiring multimillionaire on a podcast, which is not going to help you.
Yeah.
Because it will just overwhelm you that you're not there. And that's where I think that foundations and structures in business course and education need to be given, and I'm very privileged and grateful that I have the opportunity to teach it, as well as other of my colleagues that teach business as well, because, if trainers are not doing the business bits, they're going to get left behind, and they're going to think that I can't grow a business in this game because there's too many people. And I completely disagree, because I've been able to do it, and you've been able to do it too.
Yeah. And I think the two need to go hand in hand, right? You get so many people who are focused on craft and results. And yes, that's important. Like we spoke about, you need to be able to get results and deliver for your clients. But if somebody has the business knowledge alongside the craft, guess who's going to be busier, and guess who's going to be able, like you said, to command more because of their skills around business and marketing and everything else.
Yeah. And I also think that there's a lot of coaches that are coming out of PT school or doing a quick online coaching certification and then spending the next 2 years doing business. And they've not become a good coach.
Yeah.
And they're trying to grow their social media platform and putting post after post, and they're getting taught all the strategies for online coaching. I was like, you can't sell because you shit.
Yeah. And you can only sell shit once, right?
Well, you can use a template, but you'll get caught out. I'm sorry. I've done this a lot. I've listened to a lot of coaches. You can give a template to somebody to sell and learn to sell and convert, but you've still got to get the fucking client in shape.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's be honest with you. If I'm going to pay you $1,000 for 3 months to do from coaching for me, right?
Yep.
Let's say I pay $1,000. I expect to get in fucking shape.
Yeah, 100%.
And here's the thing: you've been coaching long enough, Adrian. Coaching's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't follow my diet this weekend. Do it again. You can't do that. You need to know psychology, human behavior. You need to be a skilled coach.
Yeah.
I'm losing weight really, really quickly. It's okay. That's not a problem. What? I'm losing like 3 or 4 pounds a week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're doing all right as long as you keep moving. No, it's not right. Like, you know, your client's not sleeping. They're stressed. You know, I think that, honestly, I think that in order for a coach to be able to charge appropriately, they need to be demonstrating that they're a good enough coach. If this is going to help the fitness industry.
Yeah.
I listened to a podcast like last night of a girl that during lockdown, because she's got 500,000 followers, she just decided to write a fitness program and made herself 70, 80K.
Okay.
Right? Not even a trainer. Just thought, I'll just put my diet down in a PDF. And because she's got 500,000 followers, she made a shitload of money.
Crazy.
But that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So there's so much advice out there and everybody trying to win, that the integrity that I have and that I hold strong is that I'm a coach, and everybody that comes through my training programs are coaches, even business programs. I don't want to work with, I turn people down that say, oh, I just did an online training course. I said, are you qualified? Are you a trainer? They're like, no, man, no, I'm just going to do some online training. I compete. But I get it a lot.
Yeah.
I get it a lot. And I just say, wrong coach. See you later.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And
that's me. That's an integrity thing. Is I don't want to be the guy that's teaching people how to build a fitness business and then not a committed coach. I mean, I've spent, like you, years traveling the world studying from people, and I love working with coaches that love training. And as much as I want to help people make money, it's not inspiring for me to help somebody make money who's not committed to being a good coach, because in my eyes, that's fraud.
Yeah, 100%. And I was going to say that's quite apparent, because you've got the podcast, which is aimed at, you know, teaching people the business skills and the mindset skills for business. You've got the PT mentorship, which is about learning the skills behind the transformation. And then you've also wrote what I've got in front of me, which is the Level Up book, which I've got in paperback in front of me. And a client actually bought it for me on the audiobook for my birthday back in May. And I'm going to list it's actually the next book that I've got. So I can't wait. I think you've done the audio yourself, right?
I did. It was such an enjoyable experience, because reading my own book was I love doing it, but I just got to be able to put my kind of passion behind it, because for a while writing a book, I wasn't inspired to write a business book.
Yeah.
And I wasn't inspired to write a personal development book, and I wasn't inspired to write a coaching book on a particular subject of coaching. And I was banging my head against a brick wall, and it came to me one day that it's my journey that's inspiring. And I've learned a lot about personal development, a lot, and still do. I've learned a lot about coaching. I adore coaching. I adore just what coaching is all about, how helping somebody to solve a problem that they can't solve for themselves. I just think that the business stuff's really inspiring to me, just helping somebody build a business and be fulfilled, you know. But I got where I am because of coaching, and coaching was something that when I watched my team deliver the education that I delivered for years, it's so inspiring to watch them teach that now. But that's why for us, building a personal training mentorship and business, was that we have a lot of trainers that do our mentorship into the business mastermind or the business mastermind, and then 3/4 of the way through realize that their next step has to be becoming a better coach. And they go into the PT mentorship. Right. So they go very much hand in hand, but I certainly wouldn't want to just isolate business, because we know hands down that, you know, a lot of the content people write on social media is just regurgitated how to sleep better, how to drink more water, how much protein you need. It's just not interesting. And because people can't speak from an experienced coaching background, they lose the ability to connect with people. And that's why I think that it's very, very important for us to stay connected with the coaching side of it, you know, and helping people to become a better applicable coach, whether it's online coach, and I find the online coaching world fascinating. I know you know that I had a lot of online clients over the years and still do a lot of business mentoring online. And I honestly believe this. I have a big passion for growing a big life. Obviously, you do too. Have you got 2 girls now?
2 girls now, yeah. One's 7 weeks old and one's 2. So
amazing, 2 girls, but they're not going to be cheap.
No, exactly. Big
but this is the thing, right? When you have a goal for your life and you start thinking about what you want your life to look like, you start to get quite excited. Where do we want to be living? What school do they want to go to? And I don't think that you can expect somebody to start thinking. I said to the guys yesterday, it's very difficult to get a young, inexperienced person with life to start thinking 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
Because it's a hard ask. I think we said that we're going to change our PT mentorship from trying to get a bigger vision to at least a short and a medium term one, because I think there's a lot of challenges in people's heads that stop them thinking long term. I'm not worth it, self-doubt, procrastinate, all the frustration, all the all the imposter syndrome that's happening in the fitness industry. It just affects people's visions of thinking bigger for their life. But I'm just really excited for coaches to be able to start thinking a bit bigger about what they can achieve. And once they can start thinking a bit more about what they can achieve, then they start to see the value in becoming a better coach. When they see the more value in becoming a better coach, they'll see more value on growing a business. And that takes a while for the penny to drop. It really does. I think that it probably took you a while to penny to drop. It took me a while to the penny to drop. That, you know, everything you do on a day-to-day basis has to be complementing your life, or else you end up resenting what you do every day. So if you're earning 30 grand a year, you deserve to make 45 grand a year, and you deserve to make 60 grand a year if you're continually putting in and giving back. So you end up getting financial growth to improve the quality of your life. And as your life is growing, it makes you want to, this is the big thing. If you're getting rewarded, you're more likely to give back to people more. Like, we always wonder, why do you deliver a shit service to your clients? It's because you don't value their financial investment in you. Because if you did, you'd be up all night writing the programs and doing everything to make it look good. But if the service is shit, more than likely you think that you deserve more. Well, that's because you're not charged anymore, and that's because you don't deserve it. So that's why, for me, it's really important that, you know, when you look at the business aspects of stuff, I'm very fascinated by what goes into making you a better coach, that over the next 5 years, you're able to increase your price. And then over the time of increasing your price, you can add additional services in. Or if you start as an online coach, what's going to take you from 200 a month to 300 a month to 400 a month?
Yeah.
That's why I think that the minimum is really 10 grand over the 5 years, 6 years in the industry that you can actually start to get to. I don't think it's unrealistic in the slightest.
100%. And then obviously you've got so many different facets to the M10 brand now. You've got, like we said, there's the book, there's the mentorship, there's the business stuff. And I really like the Richard Branson quote that you said before we jumped on air here. So let's talk a little bit about that, how you were talking about how all these years of learning and growing this reputation has led you to be in that position where you are the Richard Branson of M10 now, right? You're steering the brand forward rather than, like you said earlier, doing the legwork and flying the planes.
Well, I use that analogy to you, and it is one that I like to use a lot. And it was a big business lesson to me. I felt that I was letting myself down by not coaching anymore for quite a while. And my business mentor asked me a question. She said, why are you not coaching anymore? I took that as a challenge, because at the time I was like, shit, why am I not coaching anymore? Whoa. And I just said to her, I said, because my mission in life has changed. It's bigger. It's a lot bigger. And I can't make the impact that I can make training one-to-one. What I can do is through the team that are training in my gym and the team that are helping me teach the education on the seminars and the mentorship. If those guys can teach and deliver and learn and grow, and I can reward them financially for that, if we're training 200 clients every 6 months through our mentorship and through other coaching facilities that we have, if they're all training 30 sessions a week, it's a lot of sessions over 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, I'm glad you answered it like that, because I thought you were going to be defensive. And I said, shit, I thought you were challenging me. She goes, no, I just wanted to see whether you could see it, because your perception is what you can see. And if I could see myself as letting myself down by stopping PT, but I didn't, I actually saw myself as being able to give more to the industry. And since I moved away from the gym, living in London, 2.5 hour drive away, I have a team that run the gym, manage the gym, Dan, Jammer, and we have the team there. But they're doing all the PT, they're doing all the teaching of the science, the theory, the practical, the science, the nutrition for our training, mentorship, and delivering it. But my job is more like an ambassador for the brand now. I'm an ambassador, marketer, strategist, visionary, and whether I go on podcasts, whether I speak at events like next week, whether or not I'm doing my own podcast, whether or not I'm doing a lot of social media content, networking, collaborating, and growing the brand. I go to the team meetings we have, and I have visionary ideas. I'm constantly thinking, evolving the brand, and then I can get people to integrate those, do the tasks with us, for us.
Yeah.
And people get paid right way to do it. But that role for me, as I said to you, Richard Branson doesn't fly the planes, and as a business, you have to be okay with, when you start to grow, you have to say, what is my core genius and what is not my core genius? So my core genius right now is visionary, marketing, content, financial planning, and leadership. That's my role. So anything that's outside of that remit, it's not valuable to me, because I'm not inspired to do it. So I can move that across to somebody else. But in doing that, what's great is that you create a career for somebody else. We're hiring a new designer for the business to go on top of the marketing team. And I don't want to make PDFs and spreadsheets and Excel formulas and all that stuff, but they do.
Yeah.
And they get paid well to do it. So you're creating a job for somebody, and then you can give them the spec, and then 3 months down the line, you've got everything delivered that you need.
Yeah.
And whereas before I wanted to do everything, I wanted to do everything. I wouldn't let it all go. And even our practical coaching weekends, it's a 2-day event, but I said to the guys, how many days do you need me there for? No, what do you want me to do over the 2 weekends? They went, you just need to do the intro and then you can go. I was like, what? and I probably will get to the point whereby I don't need to be at the practical weekends.
Yeah.
Because teaching, training, and it's not what I do. And then I think the boys need to deliver those practical weekends, and I'm doing the marketing, the lead generation, the brand development.
Yeah.
And that now, it's funny because I'm inspired to do my content and drive the brand forward, but without me doing that, then we're not going to have the clients.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's why I said, Richard Branson does everything he does, and Christ, we're a drop in the ocean compared to his brand. But I took a lot when I was reading his books, just about leadership, and I listened to podcasts about leadership and performance and managing people. And I'm a guy that values are very, very important to me, and values shift as we move through our life. Values really shift as we move through our life, and what we value is what we're inspired by, not genuinity, kindness, love, care. Like, values are the things that we're inspired by, things that we think about all the time, things that we want to read about, things that are around us all day, every day. And honestly, there's more books on the shelf behind me that are business, leadership, finance. And, I've got another shelf with all the education training. There's probably bottom two, but I've got 10, 15 boxes at the gym, which are all my training and development books. All of this stuff's a lot of business and marketing now, because that's what's going to drive us forward. And that's what I'm inspired by now. But it doesn't mean for 1 second that I don't have coaching.
Yeah.
It just means that I'm more inspired right now to do other stuff. And I think there's a lot of people that need to listen to their own internal dialogue as to what's inspiring and driving to them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who don't listen to their internal dialogue. I think there's a lot of people that are going through life thinking that they should do something and they must do something. And that should and must is telling you that you are allowing yourself to be impacted by other people's values. Because if I want to do something, it's because I know I want to do something. But if I think that I need to do something, I need very often is because I think that because somebody else is doing it, I must do that too. And I've really learned that's a really powerful thing. If I say to myself, I think I need to be doing that. And when I work with my mentor for the first 20 minutes, she just lets me talk and do a debrief on what I think is wrong with me, what I think I need to know, and where I want to get to the end of the call. And when I do that, she listens to my language and says, why that? And I go, shit, I didn't realize I was doing that. Mm-hmm. Because the dialogue we use, if you allow somebody to speak very freely, you know, I feel I need to go and do biomechanics. Okay. Why? Because I know my clients need it. Really? And then they go, why trying to stop me to do biomechanics? I'm not trying to get you to stop doing biomechanics, but I feel that because everybody else is doing biomechanics, you think you need to do biomechanics.
Yeah.
But if you're focused on weight loss right now, do you think that you would be more valuable to learn these topics to help your weight loss clients improve, or do you need to do biomechanics?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm really struggling with weight loss clients. So would human behavior and client psychology be a bit more valuable right now than going to learn about exercise execution? Yeah, more than likely. Good. So would you not say that that's the route that we may need to go down? Oh, I didn't think of it like that because everyone's doing mechanics. I thought I needed that. Yeah, that's where I try and I challenge people on what they think they need versus what they need. And mm-hmm. We have a webinar coming out for M10. There's a lot of young PTs. I did this in the early days, following the tribe, online coaching, following the tribe. And then 6 months, 12 months down the line, they've got all these courses and they're doing nothing with them because they've just ticked them off because everybody else is doing them. And that's where we get lost and overwhelmed and unfulfilled. And it's a slippery slope. But I also think sometimes you've got to go down the slippery slope because it's not until you go down it that you realize it's maybe the wrong course. But if I'd rather give people the support and guidance now so that you don't hit the slippery slope than hit the slippery slope, which is why I love putting so much content out. In fact, when I do my posts, I know you write a lot when you write your posts. I love sitting down and writing a post. I absolutely, if I'm absolutely honest, it's one of the most enjoyable parts of my job. I was sitting on holiday last week, just thinking about people that I care about in the fitness industry. And people are like, do you not let your brain switch off? I'm like, I don't want it to switch off. No, it's true, man. I don't want my brain to switch off. Yeah. I'll sit there with my phone and I'll start writing a post, and I'm really enjoying writing about what I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't see it as a stress. And I think there's a really important point on this, which is, with stress, there's eustress and distress. Mm-hmm. So distress is damaging, but eustress, Jesus, like your daughters being up and about, there's a mixture of eustress and distress.
Yeah,
distress is tiring, but sometimes the stress it brings into your life is just lifts you up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that when I'm doing my job, eustress is, Dundee Martini explains eustress as anti-aging and distress as aging. Mm-hmm. So when we're doing things that aren't inspiring to ourselves, it causes a lot of distress. It fills the coffee cup up with negative energy. But eustress is just inspiring. So if I get up at 6:45 in the morning and I'm off and I'm working with my clients, by the end of the day, like I know it's later with you now, but I'm as fired up at 7:00 in the evening as I was at 6:45 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I'm 44. I've been doing it for 21 years.
Yeah.
And I've gone on holiday and I've worked and I've written posts and kept in contact with my audience. And I come back, I feel just as energized today. I actually said to Marsh, do you feel like you don't want to go home and don't want to carry on with work because you just had such a long holiday? And she was like, no, I can't wait to get back and carry on. And we were both the same. I think that's a lovely place for people to be, is that, loving what you do, and you won't, I don't think you can run into this burnt out bollocks that people talk about.
Yeah.
I think we can get tired. And I think you having 2 girls, it can get you tired.
100%. Yeah.
And I think that you can be smart with your working hours. But I think people use the word burnt out. I think the word I'm going to replace burnt out with is deeply unfulfilled.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I think tired is a nice word. Fuck, yesterday I got in the car at 7:15 and drove to Nottingham, listened to an amazing podcast on the way, had a 4-hour meeting. And I sat down, I was bollocks, because I've sat on a sun lounger for 8 days.
Yeah.
And then I trained and I got in the car. And when I got home, I said to Marsh, I'm knackered. and I just went to bed at 10:15. I'm knackered,
Yeah.
right? I'm not unfulfilled.
Yeah.
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do this. Got up at 6:45. I've worked all day. Carried on again. And if I'm a bit tired, I'll go to bed tonight. And then it's just because I need to pick up my optimal working pace, which is 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So I've been 40 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour for a week.
Yeah.
Now I need to pick up the pace again.
Yeah.
Of course it does. Right, going at 100 mile an hour again. But you having a new daughter, you just have to readjust your schedule.
Yeah.
But if you stopped work and pulled back 50%, you're probably unfulfilled because you weren't working.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's where I think that burnt out is doing too many things that you don't enjoy rather than fulfilled, which is inspiring, but you do get tired.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean?
100% agree. 100% agree. Yeah, this is this just speaks so much, especially the situation I'm in now. It's about managing the time, and it's about, working smarter, not harder. Like, if you're tired, like take a sleep. I think I slept into like 7 this morning because I was on a call late last night. And I text one of my clients, like, I got to sleep. And he's like, at 7 a.m. Is this a sleep in for you? And I was like, well, I'm normally up at 4:35. Like, oh, wow. So I think you just got to manage where you're at and actually listen to your body. It's like training, right? When we coach people, if they're absolutely knackered from the workouts, well, throw in a rest day. Why are you training 5 days in a row? Just do 3 and then take a break, right? It's the same with our business.
Exactly. I was supposed to do 30 minutes cardio yesterday after training. And I was just tired. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to get in the car and go home.
Yeah, 100%.
Marsh was funny yesterday. She said to me, I was tired yesterday afternoon. So I had a nap for an hour. And she said, I know I should have been working. I said, listen, if you need a nap, have a nap.
Yeah.
And if I need a nap, I have a nap. But I just think that, it becomes really unfulfilling if every day, and a lot of coaches do this, even online coaches, if you love what you do and you're inspired, you're growing and you're getting paid well, the distress comes from not getting paid enough, working hours and being unfulfilled, and feeling that your clients are taking the piss because they're getting a lot from you, but you're not getting paid. Look, trainers say, I just feel like my clients take the piss. I give them so much. I do so much for them. I'm like, so you should.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting paid enough. I'm like, that's your fault, not theirs.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And I said to them, let me ask you this. If you're charging £35 an hour to do something for clients and in the evening they need an email, you probably won't do it. You probably won't reply to them because it's £35. They're paying you £65. Like last night, I got back from Nottingham tired at 8:15, and I sat down and I wrote 2 emails because I promised people who were paying me good money that I'd send them the emails. Right. And I wasn't pissed off at doing it or resentful to the client. I'm getting paid well to do it.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that young PTs enter into the industry for the wrong reasons. If the reason is to change lives and learn and grow and develop, then you're not going to be burnt out. That's my belief.
Yeah.
And I know people could challenge me on it, and I would love to talk to people about that subject. But what fascinates me, as going back to the beginning thing before we came live on the call, I'm inspired by values. I'm inspired by helping people try and find fulfillment. I speak to a lot of young entrepreneurs who say, I know I need to scale my business. I need to do this. But I say the framework of human development, personal development isn't right yet. You're not realigned. The only way we're going to find the route forward is if we get you aligned with your values and your vision, and then we'll see what we need to do with the business. And that's a core driver for me. Find out what's inspiring to you, and you won't have a distressful day of work in your life. You'll just get tired every so often, but everything you do will be fulfilling.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's huge. So, I think I've taken an hour of your time now, so I don't want to take too much longer. But I think the theme here is, consistent pursuit of excellence. Like your book, it's called Level Up. It's all about leveling up through all these different stages of your life. If anyone has enjoyed this, maybe they follow you already, but they don't know how to reach out about the business mentoring, or if they don't even follow you at all, how can they get in touch? What's the best way to do that? And what can you offer them straight off the bat? Like what's coming up for the mentorship and the business mentoring too?
Well, thank you. And I will quickly say this. I kept Odran waiting 20 minutes. Right? I had somebody with me, and I just want to publicly just apologize to everybody, and to you more importantly, because you're very patient today. So thank you for that. But to reach me, you can follow me on Instagram, Mark Coles M10. You can go to my website, m10life.com. And what I encourage people to do, there's a few ways in which you can learn about me. I never like to tell people about the courses that we run, because they're not of interest to you yet. What could be of interest to you is to pick up my book on Amazon. It's $12.99. It's cheap. And just read. And if you're inspired by what I've talked about, pick up the book. And if you want some free stuff, then go to m10life.com, go to on-demand training. We've got 4 or 5 different training seminars, webinars on building online businesses, getting leads, building a PT business, helping clients overcome or stick to the plan. We've got lots of different free webinars, free training, and just follow me. Engage in some of our free training, get the book, learn about me. And you know what's funny? Once you do, you'll soon know what we do.
Yeah,
and then if it's right for you to end up on one of our programs, then you've ended up right, rather than me telling you what they are now. So follow me on any of those, m10life.com or Mark Coles M10 on Instagram, and look forward to connecting with you. And please come and say hello.
Awesome. I will put those links in the description box, guys. So you literally just need to scroll down, tap the link, and it'll take you to Mark's Instagram and the M10 Life page as well. So like he says, hit him up, follow him, then see if the content is screaming out to you. If it is, get on it and see where you end up through the process. But Mark, thank you for your time, mate. Like I said, I thought I had you on the podcast before, but I was looking through. I was like, no, we done a live. We done a really, really, really fucking good live 2 years ago that I couldn't see it for some reason, and I lost the audio. So I thought we'd done one, but we hadn't. So I'm glad we finally got around to taking it off, mate, because you can provide a lot of value for people. You do consistently provide a lot of value for people, and it's great to have you on here with the numerous coaches and people over here in Australia and Scotland and everywhere else who follow me who may not yet follow you. So I look forward to hopefully seeing the screenshots coming in, people tagging the both of us or just tagging you on your thing. I look forward to seeing it and just spreading the good word, mate. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on, bud.
Awesome, my man. Well, you have a great night, and I'll speak to you soon.
Take care, bud.
Thanks for joining me on today's episode of The O Show. If you know somebody who needs to hear this episode today, please share this with them via message or on social media. Don't forget to also take a screenshot and share it on your story and tag me at Oren McCorry so we can continue to grow the podcast and help more people change their lives with the advice given here. Also, keep the 5-star reviews coming over on iTunes, as that helps people who normally wouldn't listen to the show find it and get the O Show in their ears and drive the podcast forward to help more people around the world with the advice here. Have a great day, and I will speak to you soon.